So I don't know who needs to hear this, but there's probably a good few of you guys watching this right now that are addicted to porn, right? You watch it every day, you beat your shit, and then you move on with your day. And you feel like crap, your baseline dopamine is extremely low, and that's your day to day. You're living at your like a tenth of your potential because you're just wasting all that energy and all that brain power and all that testosterone into pixels on a screen. And you're probably thinking to yourself that you have a porn addiction. In reality, it's not really a porn addiction. What it is it's a dopamine addiction. You're addicted to dopamine, so you need stimulus all of the time. You need to feel stimulated, and therefore you watch porn. So the way this works is you watch porn to get that stimulus, and now your baseline dopamine goes from here to here. And you always need that high level of stimulation to feel something because everything else is boring. Everything else feels like shit. Being with your family and being with friends, working, training, all these things, it's not enough. It's not enough to make you feel good. You always need a little bit more to actually feel normal and feel the level of stimulus that you actually want. Now, the way to quit porn is to get rid of all cheap dopamine. Because, again, it's not a porn addiction, it's a dopamine addiction. Because you need the stimulus. That's what you're chasing. Because it releases so much dopamine that when you don't get it, when you don't do it again after a few days, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel like there's something lacking. And you're always going to go back to it. And a lot of people think and state that it's a porn addiction. Well, I'm addicted to porn and that person is addicted to porn and so on and so forth. It's not really about that. You're not addicted to porn. You're addicted to the feeling that you get from watching porn, which is the dopamine that is releasing every time you do it. I think the levels of dopamine that are released from porn are comparable to some hard drugs. So it's very, very high levels. That's why most people that watch porn are very docile, they're very weak, they have low testosterone, they're retarded, they can't speak properly. It's because of that. It's just, it robs you of the simple joys in life. Like, if you were not addicted to dopamine, you would be happy just speaking to a stranger, just going up to a stranger and having a conversation, or taking a hike through the woods, or being at the beach and just watching the view. Just something like that, something very simple would make you feel happy. But because you're so addicted to dopamine, nothing makes you feel happy anymore. Okay? Just like simple things that should make you happy, such as sitting down with your mother and just having a conversation, asking her how her day has been, will not make you feel anything because there's no stimulus. You'll just feel depressed. You won't even want to talk to her. You'll give her short answers. You won't give her any energy. It will just be very, very boring. Because I've been there. I think every guy has been there, but most of you are still there. You're still operating at 10% of your potential, which is sad. Because, again, it's not a porn addiction, it's a dopamine addiction. So, how do you fucking break this shit? The way to break your porn addiction is to get rid of all the cheap dopamine. That is how you do it. Because if you get rid of the porn, but you continue scrolling on your phone, you continue eating junk food, you continue binge watching TV shows, playing video games, and all these things, you're still keeping yourself in that dopamine addiction. You're still keeping yourself in that loop. Now, the issue with this is because you're still keeping yourself in the addiction loop, you'll always need a stronger hit from what you're getting from like scrolling or social media or whatever it may be. Because you're addicted to dopamine and you're not letting go of that addiction and you're still in the loop and you're consuming things that do not give you as hard of a hit than porn, as porn does, right? So when you watch porn, you get a harder hit. You get more dopamine. You feel better in the moment. So you start realizing that you're trying to avoid the porn. You've quit the porn, but you haven't quit all the other bad habits. And now you consume more of these other bad habits and you try to make up for the porn that you're not watching right now. So you're trying to get the same level of stimulus. So you scroll more and more and more. You watch more and more and more videos to get the same level of stimulus, but then you realize it's not enough. So eventually you go back to porn. Eventually you start watching it again. Eventually you start beating your shit. It always comes back to it. And the only reason to cut out porn completely is to cut out all cheap dopamine, all of it. Now, it's going to be very difficult. The first couple of weeks is going to be super fucking hard, where you're not scrolling, you're not watching videos. Even when you're eating food, you're not watching videos. You're just sitting in your kitchen, eating food. You're not even listening to music. You're not doing anything. You just work and you get your dopamine the natural way, right? By speaking to people, by training hard, by working hard, by achieving things. Because that's the way to get your dopamine. That's how you do it. You do it by earning your dopamine, right? You do it by earning your dopamine. Because if you don't earn your dopamine and you get it easily, you'll never have to fight for it. And you'll always realize that it's super easy to get it. So why should I struggle to get my dopamine? You're always going to be docile and you're always going to be stuck in that loop. The key is to earn your dopamine. That's how you feel good about yourself. You'll become better as a man. You'll become stronger, higher testosterone, higher drive, better social skills, better everything. That's how you do it. Okay? The more you keep yourself in that loop of getting your dopamine easily, the worse it's going to be. So that's how you do it. Go on a complete dopamine detox. Stop consuming anything, even something as innocent as music, because music doesn't release as much dopamine as something like social media would, or watching videos or binge watching shows, but it's still something. It still keeps you stimulated from something that gives you an easy way of acquiring dopamine. So cut it all out. Just focus on getting your dopamine through the natural way, working hard, socializing, training hard, and all these things, and you'll be able to break that porn addiction. When it's not really, in reality, it's not really a porn addiction, which I've already stated. So that's how you do it. Cut it all out. You're going to feel like shit the first few days. It's going to feel very weird. But once you make a habit of it, of not consuming any cheap dopamine, you're going to feel a million times better as a man. And yeah, you're never going to feel the need to watch anything like porn again. Because again, I'm going to keep repeating myself. It's not a porn addiction. It is a dopamine addiction. That's what you're addicted to. So rewire your brain, heal your mind, stop watching and consuming bullshit, and you'll stop it all altogether and you'll feel happier as a whole. So that's all. Try that out, and I guarantee your life will be completely different in just a few months' time. Because you got to understand that your mind has been overstimulated for the greater part of your life. If you remove that, you will start feeling like a normal human being again. You'll operate at your fullest potential, and you become the best version of yourself. Because it all starts in the mind. You fix your mind, you fix everything else. It's not about the money, it's not about the results. It's all symptoms and a byproduct of the person that you are, and the strength and how formidable your mind is. That's all you need. That's all you need. Just get rid of all the bullshit and everything will change. That's it. See you next time. Cheers.